What were the ratings on this fiasco? Let me get comfortable before I hear these things. I'm stretching my hip out.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm stretching. Okay, I'm getting comfortable. All right, what's the story?
The story this week, May 31st, AEW Dynamite on TBS, was 923,000 viewers.
Oh, now, what was different about this program as opposed to the ones that have been getting 800 and something thousand? It wasn't certainly any better in quality. One must think that something was teased, a possible carrot was dangled on the proverbial stick as to people might hear something that they wanted to hear.
Well, we'll see how the ratings play out, but the show opens, segment 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus Bandito and the Lucha Brothers. With picture
and a 2-minute suplex.
With picture-in-picture, 1,040,000 viewers.
Whoa, now that's the first time in quite a while that they have started at their previous over million level since we began to question the popularity of the Big Bang Theory. So that's a good start.
Segment 2, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m., the continuation of the previous match, the Young Bucks, Adam Page, and the Dork Order backstage, the Juice Robinson, Jay White, FTR, Ricky Starks live promo, 999,000 viewers.
Okay, so apparently 41,000 of those were just the people that tripped getting up to change after the Big Bang went off.
Segment 3. Tony Khan announces CM Punk's return, along with Trent Beretta versus Big Bill versus Swerve Strickland. I can't say that name without it being funny.
I know, even if, for fuck's sake, even if he's good, if he's the shits, you know, he's working hard, he's whatever the fuck. Give him a last name at least. Big Bill Dromo, for fuck's sake, Junior. I don't care, but just Big Bill is the most nondescript, generic, bland, great value, as they say. How you going to market that? There's Big Bill. All right, go ahead.
Versus Swerve Strickland with picture-in-picture. 991,000 viewers.
So again, they only lost 8,000. That was the announcement was in that quarter hour that they wanted to hear. But where do they go from here now that all the children have grown up? And how do we face our lives knowing nobody gives us a chance?
We go to segment 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. The Chris Statlander promo video, the Acclaim's promo on the ramp, as well as Don Callis and Takeshita's live promo, 906,000 viewers.
Ooh, okay. Many people apparently have heard what they wanted to hear. That's a drop of 85,000 more. So we are now down 134,000 since the start of the episode.
And by the way, I should say these were compiled by WrestleNomics.
Oh, that's right. We got to give credit where credit's due. Thurston Howell III is on top of all of the wrestling business in the various companies these days. All the statistics, the things that people need to know.
Well, let's go to segment 5 here, the big 9 o'clock hour, 9 to 9:15 p.m. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus the Gates of Agony with picture-in-picture, as well as the post-match with Sting, Brian Cage, and Swerve. 888,000 viewers.
Ooh, okay, so we've dropped another 18,000.
Segment 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. The MJF video, Hook, Preston Vance, and Dralisto? Do we know him?
That was the guy in the lucha mask.
Well, him, as well as Jungle
and
Boy.
And a suit.
Well,
apparently now the lucha suits over in the WWE aren't using the gimmick anymore, so now all the lucha guys in the AEW are wearing the suits.
Well, that segment, as well as the Outcast backstage promo and Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose, 866,000 viewers.
There went another 22,000.
Segment 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose continued with picture-in-picture and a recap video, I believe, of the pay-per-view, 854,000 viewers.
So we've got down now to about where they have been over the last, several weeks or however many weeks, where we said this is about the number of people that are going to watch, 850, somewhere around there.
And finally, segment 8, the main event, 9:45 to 10 p.m., Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Chris Jericho and Saraya.
Now, I thought that might have some interest, maybe more interest than the Falls Count Anywhere single match between Cole and Jericho would have had, because at least it's different instead of something that's, is going to look like the same thing they always do with everybody. Did anybody tune in to see that on free television after they shot the angle on pay-per-view?
With picture-in-picture, 839,000 viewers.
And the answer is no. They've turned 15,000 away. And not in a good way of a sold-out arena, but like, no, we turn away when we see that. Okay, so that's what happened. A bunch of people tuned in to have their question answered. That was the one thing that they were up in the air about over the last week was, is Punk going to be part of Collision or not? They started with 1,040,000. And by the announcement, they had only lost 49,000 of those people, and most of them, as we said, probably the big bangers. After the announcement, they lost another 152,000 people to finish up, starting 201,000 down from where they began.
Considering the mixed reaction to CM Punk, I thought the audience would have been like, okay, we heard the news we want. We don't need to watch anymore. Do you think any of the audience said, we heard the news we didn't want to hear. We don't want to watch anymore?
Well, no, because why would you not want to watch the rest of the program that you know that he's not on because they announced he'll be on a program? That you just keep watching Wednesday if you don't want to see Saturday. But it did satisfy the curiosity of a lot of the people, but then there was nothing else to hang around for, because look at the state of all that. So, again, they only lost a certain amount until the announcement, and 991,000, and then they lost another 160,000 off of that. That's not AEW's faithful fans tuning out. That's people said, okay, is he coming back? Okay, he's coming back. Well, we'll come back when he comes back. Or they just didn't give a shit about the rest of the program.
Well, I think that's part of the problem.
That's part of it, too.
There's a lot of people on this show that have been on this show a lot, and they're not doing anything special. We've talked about the Orange Cassidy issues where he started off so many shows. Here he is at the 9 o'clock hour, didn't hold anyone from the announcement. They still kept leaving. You had some women's segments. Statlander hasn't been around in a while. Nyla Rose hasn't been around in a while. No one gives a crap about the Outcast and Britt Baker stuff. MJF, it was a not throwaway, but it was a backstage promo segment as opposed to anything live. They front-loaded the top of the show with BCC, The Elite, Tony Khan's announcement. Even if you're a hardcore AEW fan, what's the motivation to stay around? To see that Jericho match?
So what you're saying is they didn't hold the viewers held their noses and turned away.
I think they risk people getting sick of a lot of people they've been using regularly because of how they've been used, and also just because they've been used regularly forever.
Well, but see, here's the problem. Somebody with the attention span of Tony and or his ilk over there will take that statement and go, okay, that means we should only put somebody on TV once every 6 weeks. And they can't, nobody can find the fucking middle ground between light and shadow or science and superstition. You get your top guys you push, you hear from them or see them, or refer to them, or show video of them every week. Okay, and they're winning a lot more than they're losing. And then when he has talent, he has roster depth, if not talent depth. So then the fucking peons that he thinks are cute, that nobody really wants to fucking look at, and they just look past, those are the ones that should be seen sparingly and heard even less. But those are the ones that he is continually, whether it be the mascot or the ridiculous, the green girls, they're all in green. How apropos. Or just anybody that he has done to death over the last few years because he gets it in his bonnet. That's what people get sick and tired of, and it looks all the same. And especially the chaos in the matches, because there's nobody to oversee the matches with not only the knowledge, but the authority. So that's the problem. You want your top guys on TV every week. You just want to make sure that you pick the right top guys.
Hey, another note here. This was Dynamite's highest total viewership since March 22nd, however, down 11% in 18 to 49. Whatever that says.
I don't even care.
You know, what's done is done, and the network wanted what they wanted. But how beneficial do you think it would have been to AEW for Collision to be a 1-hour show as opposed to a 2-hour show?
It would have probably been easier to start off with and make the, by popular demand announcement months later or however long later, because that way they wouldn't have to. Again, he's got a plethora of people, but not deep on real talent that can draw a mainstream television audience past the bubblicious audience they got that doesn't grow because it's And, again, the mixed reaction in San Diego, that was California. It'd be overwhelmingly positive in Chicago. It would be probably 6 one, half dozen the other in a number of markets. It's going to vary across the country depending on the fan base, because every AEW fan from every state in the union is not the same. But again, they're carving up a small pie. They're turning parts of their audience against parts of their roster. They're putting different talent, so as we are led to believe, at least in some part, on their Wednesday night and Saturday night TV shows, not because of a business strategy, but because of fucking meh. So they're diluting the talent roster. They're diluting the fact that AEW is now on one of those networks 5 hours a week, counting Rampage that nobody watches. It's all getting, not only the fan base is getting watered down and overexposed, but the talent roster and the television time and everything else. And since all their shit looks the same anyway, because all of these fresh-faced, perky young talents were raised on the Outlaw Mud shows, how are they going to make it look different besides Punk's segment? What's going to fucking be different about Saturday than Wednesday? And if Saturday don't look any different than Wednesday, for the people that watch both, they'll get tired of Wednesday because they're seeing twice as much of it.